Google have announced an update that will affect almost everyone who is doing list building on their website. So let's take a look at what that's all about. Hello, I'm Shane from Thrive Themes, and you've probably heard about the Google update that will change the way they rate whether a site is mobile friendly or not. And specifically, they mentioned that if you have something that is an overlay on your screen, such as an opt-in form that appears overlaying your screen, that if this happens automatically, it will no longer count as a mobile-friendly website, because anything that will cover most of your visitors' screen like that, well, it interferes with their experience of your site. It interferes with them actually consuming your content. So if we take a look right here on the screen, if I reload this page, this is a very typical opt-in form overlay. And you can see here on a desktop screen, it actually doesn't even take up that much space, but there is an overlay over the whole screen. Now, that's kind of the point, right? We want to direct the visitor's attention completely to this form. And so it is an overlay. And also, if we kind of pretend to be on a mobile device here, using this feature in Chrome, you can see on a mobile screen, then it takes up even more space. And this is the kind of thing that they're talking about, right? This kind of, whether it's an ad or an opt-in form or whatever, if you interrupt your reader with something like this, coming January 2017, that will mean this page would no longer be viewed as mobile friendly. Now, the first thing I want to do is I want to show you an update that we've released in Thrive Leads that will help you address this issue right away. We've made some small improvements to the user interface and a change in one of the features. So if we go to our Thrive Leads dashboard and we look at a lead group, this is the lead group that the lightbox is inside that we just looked at. You can see that now there are two switches, one for display on desktop and one for display on mobile. And what I can do is I can turn display on mobile off, which means that my desktop visitors will still see the same opt-in form, but mobile visitors will not. And this also means that I can create a separate form to show to my mobile visitors. But I recommend here, if I go add new opt-in form, I recommend using a ribbon. That's really the most fitting opt-in form type that we have right now to create, opt-in forms that don't use up a lot of space on the screen. So then let's go and add this form, and we'll create the first variation. As always, we'll be able to test this on mobile devices as well, of course. And we'll go into the design editor. Now, in my opinion, the best types of ribbons to use are the ones that are in the template cloud that are the two-step ones. So basically, they only show a button initially. And when you click on that button, then you see the opt-in form. That means they use up even less space. So this is an example of one of these right here, right? You can see we've got one line of text and a button, and then it opens a lightbox on click. So what I'll do here actually is I'd even remove this arrow and I'll center align this, and basically we'll save that. And what we can also do here in the form settings is we can change the position to top or bottom. And I think bottom is a bit less intrusive perhaps. So that's what we'll do. So then I go back to the Thrive Leads dashboard now that I've created this form and designed it. And at first it won't show. That's another change. If you create a new form, you can play around with the options, you can edit it and so on. It won't show anywhere on your site until you go in here and flip these switches to on, which means you have to make a deliberate choice about, do I want to show this on desktop, on mobile, on both, or only on one? And in this case, we will switch it on only on mobile. That also means we avoid conflicts, right? We don't have a page where the ribbon and the opt-in form, the lightbox opt-in form, are showing at the same time. Now, if we're back here, if I reload this page again and I'm in desktop view, once again, I'm seeing the opt-in form as before. And as you can see, I'm not seeing a ribbon. But if we go into this view again, and again, we're pretending to be on a mobile device here using the Google console, and I reload this, now you see we only see the ribbon at the bottom and we don't see the overlay. So that's your solution right there. And this kind of thing, which covers only part of the screen and not the whole screen, this is still deemed mobile friendly. And what happens in this case, so this ribbon appears, and if the visitor is interested, they click on the button, And then you can still show a full overlay. And that's fine, because that's on a user action. It is only deemed not mobile friendly if it happens automatically, right? If the visitor is reading and then suddenly, boom, something else interrupts them. But if the visitor is looking at this and they go, oh yeah, I want to sign up for this, and then you cover the screen, that's perfectly fine. So that's what we're doing here. And of course, it's also unobtrusive because it doesn't cover much of the screen. And if I don't want to see it, I can just close it. So in summary, what you can do right now, if you update Thrive Leads to the latest version, is you can create an alternative, basically a mobile alternative. You can create a form, I recommend Ribbons, that only shows on mobile devices. And so you can cater to mobile visitors on one side and to your desktop visitors on the other. Now, there is more to this Google mobile friendly update. And I think as often when Google announces a change, a bit of panic has spread and a lot of misinformation has been spread. So we put together a post that explains exactly what does this update mean in relation to everything related to opt-in forms, right? Everything related to list building. What does it mean? Does it mean you have to get rid of all your opt-in forms to save your business? If that's what you think, then you really, really need to read this post, because the actual details of this update are not nearly as terrible as some people make them out to be. So check out the post for more details about what exactly this update is about. Also, the Thrive Leads features I just showed you, that is still not the ideal solution. As you can see, it's more of a workaround, but we decided to release this right away, shortly after Google announced this change. But sit tight for the next update to Thrive Leads, which will make it even more convenient for you to create specific mobile opt-in forms that are mobile friendly.